Welcome! This is Solopreneur Success Strategies, where we talk about mindset, your website, your brand, your social media marketing, your customers, how to sell to your customers, how to find your customers, how to talk about the skills and knowledge you need in your business, and free software and tools to help you save time, money, and be more productive, as well as strategy and systems here on Solopreneur Success Strategies. Welcome! Welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and this is Solopreneur Success Strategies. And today it's Mindset Monday, which is always good because mindset is always important to have at the beginning of the week. So we're still continuing on with the mindset of the entrepreneur, and we're still looking at willing to learn. It's quite an extensive subject and very important for any entrepreneur to know. So let's get started once you find out who I am. I'm Jane Gardner. I work with my husband for the last 20 years in our structural engineering firm in Western Canada, and I went out on the internet about 3 years ago in order to help others start their own home business. And Solopreneur Success Strategies is all about the strategies you need to be a solopreneur and be successful in terms of your customer, in terms of mindset, having the skills and knowledge to keep control of your assets, having strategy in order to have a lifestyle business, and having some systems in your business in order to free up your time for your business, and knowing all about what your brand is and how to communicate it when you're on social media or on your website. So let's get started with willing to learn. So we have had various discussions on the mindset of the entrepreneur. We've looked at the positive attitude, the passion of the entrepreneur, the action taking of the entrepreneur, the willingness of the entrepreneur to embrace change, the willingness of the entrepreneur to be determined and persistent, and willing to take failure as feedback. Knowing your big why, your big picture as an entrepreneur is very important, and being patient, but also an action taker. A fine balance that is, but it's important for an entrepreneur to know which direction they are going and be focused. And we've been talking about the willingness to learn today, and we'll be talking later about the willingness to listen and willingness to share with others. But for today, we've been looking at the willingness to learn, and we've had a few episodes on that. So if you want to go and listen, watch, at Solopreneur Success Strategies playlist on my YouTube channel. That's at jgtips.com/YouTube. So imperfect action is always better than no action at all. That's my motto, and I'm sticking to it. And so we've had a look at these various traits of the mindset of the entrepreneur so far, and you're welcome to go back and look at them on my YouTube channel. An entrepreneur needs to be open to learning every day. The internet changes so quickly that Facebook changes its algorithm, Google changes its search, and the tactics that work today are gone tomorrow. So it's better to learn strategies rather than tactics and be open to learning new skills and knowledge as a solopreneur especially. Life is a cycle of learning and growth. As we all know, having grown up from a baby until now, we're always learning. And it is possible to spend too much time learning and not taking action on what you have learned. Some people turn into information junkies. And I think I've mentioned that I have become a perfectionist. Oh my God, what was it? Forgotten now. I've denied it now, but I used to be a perfectionist in terms of, so I never got started in certain things. And I was always learning. So taking action, even imperfect action from what you learn will get you moving forward. So there's two types of learning. Of course, there's learning from knowledge that you get, and of course, learning from experience that you experience. So you can cram your head full of knowledge, but if you don't use it, you won't learn from the knowledge. And learn from the experience. Your body has to be able to learn from what you're doing in order for it to be something that you can take into action and learn how to do it. It's no good just putting it into your brain and leaving it there, because it won't know what it is and it'll soon disappear. So, for example, you can learn all the grammar, syntax, and vocabulary of Japanese language, but if you need to practice in order to learn from the experience of speaking and especially listening to language. For any of you who've ever learned another language, you know that you may you may get an A in your exams for the grammar for the French language, but if you don't actually use it every day or at least once a month, you'll certainly lose the ability to speak French. For example, in Canada, we have two official languages, French and English, but the majority of people in Western Canada do not speak French. So we learn it in school, but we don't have much opportunity in order to speak it unless we work in the government or go to Eastern Canada. So we tend to lose it, and we do know more maybe than someone who doesn't know any French, because we do have a French television station, but I wouldn't be able to speak to anyone in Eastern Canada who's speaking French to me because I haven't been practicing it. So I think we get the point of that just by thinking about any language that we've learned and how we haven't used it. It hasn't been absorbed, and it's not easy to do it. So until you put into practice what you have learned, you won't grow as experience is the teacher. Oh, I like that. That's a good quote. Until you put into practice what you have learned, you won't grow as experience is the teacher. I'll have to use that quote, I think. Keep the learning time to a maximum of so many hours so that you don't get overwhelmed and overlearning. So make sure you put a limit on the time that you are learning about a new skill, because you don't want to overlearn and have it get lost from your brain, because the time limit also allows you time to absorb and practice what you've learned. So, for example, let's say you take an hour a day to learn a new skill. Then you would take another hour the same day, maybe to practice what you have learned, or maybe even 4 times that amount of time in order to practice what you've learned so far in the skill that you're learning, in order for it to get into your brain. For those of you who don't know anything about piano playing is all about your muscle memory. So just as the brain is a muscle, your hands and your body are a muscle that will learn as you practice. So I'm learning obviously the piano, and I have a new song to learn today, for example. So I will practice it every day. And then in a week's time from now, I might be able to not have to look down at the notes on the piano in order to see where I am. Within 2 months, I'd be able to maybe play the song without looking at the sheet of music, because your hands have muscle memory because you keep practicing it every day, and they will actually naturally go to which note that you need to play next. Sometimes, if you're lucky, of course, and a genius, sometimes can do that easily. But even your hands have memory, and you can learn songs that way just by practicing. And that's why they say practice makes perfect. So yes, I'm surprised sometimes when all of a sudden I find that I'm not looking at the music, but I'm actually playing the right notes, because I've practiced, and my hands know better than me, or my brain knows better than me what the notes are. Only so much new knowledge you can absorb. So what's the recommended amount of time as an entrepreneur that we should be learning a new skill, and how much time should we be practicing? Well, there is a recommended maybe an hour of learning and then 4 hours of practicing, and trying to schedule that into your day so that you learn a new skill. For example, I am doing, as I mentioned, Google Analytics course, and the videos actually are only 10 minutes long, so you could split that up to an hour with 10 minutes watching the video, and then the rest of the 50 minutes actually going into your Google Analytics and seeing what they are speaking about in the course and trying it out yourself. So there you go. There's always some way to learn a new skill and find the time. Obviously, you don't want to do too much learning, and you want to be implementing, but all you can do is try, right? Give it a try. See what your schedule fits into learning a new skill. Put your goal in, as I mentioned last time, of what you would like to do and what's the deadline in order to learn that skill, and then work backwards from, say, a month from now, and see how much time you could put in every day learning that skill. And you'll probably find that very quickly you can do any skill if you keep practicing every day. For example, doing this web show is very simple for me now because I've been practicing for about 3 or 4 months. So there you go. Nothing is impossible. So as long as you're willing to try. And for those of you who don't know, I have a free workbook called From Learning to Business Success. And these lessons are from it on learning how to be a business success at jgtips.com/learn. And you're welcome to download it and work through. There's a workbook there. You can read about how to work back from what you want to learn and figure out how much time you can learn on the various priorities that you have, and it helps you focus on your priorities when learning. As well, I have the Develop Your Success Mindset at jgtips.com/s-mindset, where you can get into the training of having your mindset be a success mindset rather than a failure mindset by learning some of the techniques in order to create the success mindset if you're having issues with not being confident about your success. And also you can subscribe to my Solopreneur Success Strategies channel at jgtips.com/YouTube and have a look at all the other episodes of the Mindset of the Entrepreneur and get some valuable information about some of the traits of the entrepreneur. If any of these you feel you don't have, you can go back and have a look, especially action taking. We had like 5 or 6 episodes on action taking and some of the issues on why some people don't take action, etc., and how to get out of that procrastination. So please feel free to go back to jgtips.com/YouTube and have a look at some of the previous episodes of Mindset Monday of Solopreneur Success Strategies. Thank you for listening, and it's all about having the success mindset and keeping moving forward in your business, and I hope you have a good week. Thank you for listening. This has been Jane Gardner at Solopreneur Success Strategies. Please go and subscribe at jgtips.com/programs. And also to find out about other programs as well over at jgtips.com/programs. And over there we have a free mindset magazine for you to check out at jgtips.com/mindset offer. So welcome. Thanks for listening. And I hope to see you again here tomorrow, as this is a 7-day-a-week show on mindset, your customer, getting your message out on social media and on your website, talking about strategies, talking about business systems, talking about all kinds of things, including the skills that you need as a solopreneur. So please come back and subscribe at jgtips.com/programs. Thank you.